We are a little bit far away from the camera today. You can see my bed. That's how different the camera angle is today, you guys. Hello, besties. Oh my gosh. Hey, besties. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you've come back, what's up? Thank you for coming back. This took me so long to film an intro. I don't know why I've got the giggles today. I just do. Actually, I know why I've got the giggles. I just filmed a TikTok using a Colin Bridgerton audio and I'm so obsessed with that man. It is about halfway through May. So I haven't done a video. I think the last one I did was my March reading wrap up, but I've been filming this for a few weeks now. I was originally going to be doing this video as, let me tell you what the video is first. So originally I had an idea to read 5 very popular book talk books in a week, and I thought, yep, that's achievable. And then I said, Belle, you're Delulu. So I was reading and living my life and things happen and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I have a reading vlog here for only 4 books, and that's so okay. I was originally going to read Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh in this video. However, it just got to a point where I really have to be emotionally prepared for that book. However, we did read 4 really, really cool books, and we're gonna have reading vlogs for all the books, so let's just get into it. Now, just a disclaimer, I have already read these 4 books. I just forgot to film an intro. So the first book that I read this week was Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now, this one is very, very, very widely loved. It's like one of the most popular books, and I'd had it on my TBR for so long. Like, look how old it is. I said, okay, I really got to tackle this one this week, because if I don't read it now, I don't think I'll ever read it. So this basically follows Gus and Aurora. I'm so dumb. It's Gus and January. I keep thinking of Wildfire by Hannah Grace. They are 2 rivaling authors, let's say, from college, and they live next door to each other in beach houses, and the story goes from there. So without further ado, let's get into my reading vlog for it.
Good morning, everybody. We are officially starting our first book, and it's going to be Beach Read, which I'm very excited for. Like I said to you guys, I've been putting this book off for so long. Thought I'd do some reading before I have an appointment this morning, so I will keep you guys updated. I'm prepared to instantly give this book 5 stars because one of my favorite things. Okay, this is a non-spoiler vlog, okay? But the premise of this book is they're 2 authors, rivals from college. She's a romance author. He's a sci-fi fantasy author, I believe. They're having trouble writing, so they've said, okay, let's make a deal. You write a romance, I'll write a sci-fi, and whoever finishes the book first, the other one will endorse it or whatever, right? And on top of that, they're going to be going on little dates together or excursions to help research for the other. And just to top it all off, old mate has just said, just one more thing, promise not to fall in love with me. I could give it instantly 5 stars. I could instantly give it 5 stars. I'm not even joking. Okay, I am about 100 pages into Beach Read. I just can tell it's going to be one of those books that I literally like start and can't stop reading. And I would keep reading if I didn't have an appointment to go to right now. But I love this so far, and I feel like we're going to get into a lot of like deep emotional turmoil. At the moment it's very light and fluffy, side characters are cute, a lot of banter, and I love the deal that they've struck up between them, like I said. And when he was like, just promise you won't fall in love with me, it's going to be fire. I can't wait to keep going. Good morning, besties. It is the next day. I had a crazy busy day yesterday with appointments and whatever. I am going to be reading for an hour. I'm really like wanting to just smash out a good chunk of this, because then I have to edit a video and maybe film some TikToks. It's a little bit dark outside, but I'm going to try and do my best. Let's get stuck into it. I just want to make some headway. It's already giving giddy. I can't, guys. I just know this is going to be fire. Okay, excuse the mess over there. We're about halfway through Beach Read, and it is really fast paced. I'm enjoying it. It's getting very interesting. Like, there's a lot of layers, especially to Gus, which I wasn't expecting, which is really cool. But I'm going to edit some videos for a little bit, and then I'm going to try and finish this today. Okay, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I finished this about 2 hours ago. I had to go have breakfast with my family, but I did come home and like quickly finish the last 15 pages. I do genuinely think this was a really cute book. I think the pacing was really good. I love the banter between Gus and January. I think that the story building and the relationship building was really strong. I think
for this one here, the problem that I had, and this is a problem with a lot of popular books, because you do see them floating around and sometimes you do see quotes being spoiled. And I think that's something as a whole that we really need to stop doing. I think I've done maybe 1 or 2 videos where I do quote recommendations, but I really think that quotes should be like left to be their own thing, because, and like not given as a reason to read the book, because please skip, I'll put a skip when I stop talking about this, but if you've read the book, you know that Gus says a very beautiful and very romantic line where he says, when I watch you sleep, I feel overwhelmed that you exist. And I saw that and have seen that floating around so much that when I got to it, I like sort of knew it was coming, because there is a little bit like where they have a discussion about, you know, someone who, you know, was overwhelmed that their partner was sleeping. So I knew where it was going. And when Gus said it at the end, I sort of was like, oh, because I knew he was going to say it, because it's like people are using it as a draw card to read the book. So I think that ruined the overall experience for me, which really sucks, because I wanted to give this 5 stars, but I just didn't love it as much as I thought that I would. So I think it's a solid read. I have read People We Meet on Vacation, and I actually like that more than this. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I think it's a solid book, would recommend, just not really worthy of the 5 for me. The next book we looked at was Love Redesign by Lauren Asher. Now, I'm a huge Lauren Asher fan. I've read the entire Dreamland Billionaire series. I've got Throttled over there somewhere too. And this one again was sitting on my shelf for a really long time. And I remember it came out in either October or November last year, and everybody just loved it. And I'm sort of like, why have I not picked it up yet? Like, what's going on? What's happening? So I said, okay, this is the week to do so. This follows Dahlia and Julian. They are childhood rivals to lovers. And let's just get into my reaction. Good morning, guys. Guys, literally started reading this book 2 hours ago and I cannot put it down. I think I'm about 200 pages in. Lauren Asher, I don't know what it is. Her books are so captivating. Like, the characters are like immediately lovable. The setting, the banter, the pacing. Like, I thought, oh my God, I'm in for a long slog with a 500-page book. But every time I pick up one of her books, cannot put them down. They are so entertaining. Like, comparing it to Beach Read that I just read, like, I felt like I was having to like push myself to wanting to keep reading. This, I've been trying to go down and have breakfast for 2 hours. I'm hungry, but I can't put it down. This man, I'm telling you now, he's going to be a new fave. Also, we had a Declan Kane mention and I'm like, can we show up in the book, please? Also, random side note, but do we like how I've redone this shelf? If you guys like are familiar with my TikTok, you'll know that I usually have like the Chestnut Springs displayed, like you could see all the covers. But because I just got King of Sloth yesterday and everybody is telling me to read this book, some people are saying it's like the new Twisted Games, like that level. And it's hard to dethrone this book. This is one of my favorite books ever. And I'm so excited to read this. So I will be doing that soon. But I thought I would rejig the shelf. And I think I kind of like this more. I'm 250 pages into this freaking book and I can't stop reading. But I have to go to the beach. So I'm bringing it with me. So if you don't see anything, any footage, it's because I'm scared to film in public, okay? This book has me in a freaking chokehold. Just ignore if you can hear TV in the background. I tried to read this book earlier this year and I got about 20 pages into it and I think I just forgot about it. It wasn't that I like wasn't excited. It starts with a bang, let's just say this. Like it really grips you in the first couple of pages, something exciting happens. Anyways, I picked this up today, dead ass, and I read this 500 and something page book in a day, which I've not done since, I think I read like A Court of Wings and Ruin in a day and a half, but I've never read a book this size in a day. Lauren Asher just has this, I don't know. I've obviously not read anything else by Lauren except for the Dreamland Billionaires. I've yet to read the Dirty Air series yet. I own Throttled, but I read Dreamland Billionaires about a year ago. So it's been a while since I've picked anything up by Lauren Asher. But guys, this is phenomenal. From the moment you pick up this book, the characters are immediately lovable, the plot is fast, the banter is there, it is not boring at all, and sometimes with these long books, it can be a little bit to get into it. I was comparing it to Beach Read a little bit earlier. I could not put this book down. I even went to the beach today and I said, I don't even want to socially interact. I just want to finish this book. Declan was in this, so I'm just thinking about Declan. Julian Lopez. I'm shook to my freaking core. This is one of my new favorite books. I'm like, oh, it was so well done. And I'm so glad that I finally read this. I'm so mad that I didn't read it earlier. Definitely giving this a 5-star. I almost want to give this like closer to a 3 chili. There was a lot of spicy scenes in here and they were delicious. They were delicious. It was so good. It's really funny. A lot of these books I didn't realize when I was picking them actually have the word love in them a lot. So the next one that I read was Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I despise this cover. I really wish I'd jumped on the bandwagon and got like the nicer cover. I'll put a picture of it here before the UK cover became this. This is a staple. This is one that I feel like is a lot of people's absolute favorite book of all time. And it's also just everywhere. Everywhere you go on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram, you'll come across this book in a video, right? Now, I know that this is a past, present view of friends to lovers. So childhood friends to lovers. And I was very, very keen to get into this one. So without further ado, let's get into the reading footage.
You guys are getting a lot of nighttime content today, and I'm very sorry because I just have a lot of energy and for some reason I just want to be up tonight. It is late, but I really want to keep reading. I've put my bed into 0 gravity mode because I just want to sleep. Anyway, I have decided that Love and Other Words is going to be our next victim because my plan is to do love. I just realized a lot of the books that I picked for this week, I'll all have love in the title, which is really funny. I've just finished Love Redesigned. I've got Love and Other Words, and I've got Love Theoretically over there. So my plan is going to be Love and Other Words because I've heard it's a little bit more emotional. I'm very excited to read this. After I posted my TikTok video about the books I was reading this week, a lot of people were like low-key telling me this was not as good as people think it is. But I thought it was like one of the most popular books ever. Anyway, I'm going to do a little bit reading and I'll update you guys as I go. On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd. I had to do it to him, I'm sorry.
Good morning. Ignore the wash machine and the Met Gala in the background. I'm waiting for my parents to show up. Anyways, I fell asleep last night. But I did read about 50 pages of Love and Other Words, and I just know it's going to break my heart into 1,000,000 pieces. Anyway, I have a lot to do this morning, so I probably won't get to read till about midday, but you'll be here for all my updates. Howdy doody, friends and family. It's been a long minute since I have recorded or like vlogged for this book. So I'm about 224 pages into Love and Other Words. Now, I just have some questions because this is a horrendous angle, but you know what, I don't really care. I feel like other than backstory, like nothing has really happened. I will say it's very easy to read, and I think I find that with a lot of Christina Lauren, like their books are very easy to get through, easy to understand, like that's really good. So I think I'll finish this in the next hour. But yeah, I'm just a little bit like, is it going to be like a Song of Achilles type of vibe where I'm like, why are we getting so much backstory? And then to be absolutely destroyed in the last like 50 pages? Or if it's going to be like, why do people like this book? I'll keep you updated. Okay, so we're finally getting some conflict, which is nice. We've had a character introduction and a little bit of conflict, but it's still 283 pages in to the conflict, and I have this much left. Okay, excuse the rain outside. It is pouring down, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, that is why. So, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Where do I start? The positives about this book were that it was really easy to read. I had only read 50 pages this morning and I read the whole thing today, which is really good. So it is definitely fast paced. I definitely recommend it for someone who is getting into reading, who hasn't really read much. This is definitely the type of book I could have seen myself enjoying when I first got back into reading 2 years ago. I think it's very much like got that same sort of easy breezy beautiful cover girl style as something like The Hating Game, The Unhoneymooners, The Spanish Love Deception. Like, I feel like it's quite an easy read, so I commend it in that regard. The thing for me is there was a few things I didn't like about this book. Like I said in some of my earlier vlog footage, I felt like it really took a while to like get going. And I understand that we had like the past and present back and forth, and we were trying to get like, you know, a bit of an idea of the history between Macy and, what was his name? Elliot. So I understand that part of it, but I just felt like we're about 200 pages in and like nothing was really happening. Like I just wasn't excited. Whilst it was easy to read, I just wasn't excited to know more. The other part, I'll put a skip in here for my final thoughts, but the other part that I really didn't like about this is I sort of felt like the whole time reading it, I was like, okay, he cheated on her. Like I just had this feeling, and I'd really not known much about the plot of this book, but I could sort of have that feeling of, oh, he cheated on her. And then we got to it, and then when he said he thought it was someone else, he thought the other person was her, I thought it was you, I was triggered and taken back to my 18-year-old self when I had a man do that exact same thing to me. So immediately from that point on, I wrote the book off. And I'm really sorry. I know a lot of people love this book, but for me, it like completely, and again, that's why reading is so interesting, because it is so interpretational and everybody will connect to a book in different ways, and henceforth they will rate and review it in different ways. But yes, so my overall thoughts for Love and Other Words, I'm leaning between a 2.5 and a 3 star. I just wouldn't recommend it for any other reason other than maybe, you know, you want something easy, you haven't read much and you won't predict the ending. That's not to say in a way of like, oh, you haven't read much. I mean it in a way of like, you haven't read anything similar where you sort of can feel the plot twist coming, if that makes sense. So I will give Love and Other Words a 2.5 star, and I'm gonna give it maybe like a 1.5 chili spice. And the final book in this video, like I said, I was gonna do Binding 13, but girl, no. The final book in this video was Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Now you guys know Ali's my gal. I love all of her books. So I was really like, why have I not read this yet? I think I've read every other book by Ali except for this one. Now, Bride is one of my absolute favorite books ever. I think it's like the best book she's ever written. And I was like, okay, everyone's saying this one is just as good. Everyone's saying this one is just as good. So I said, okay, girl, this one is workplace, enemies to lovers. She's trying to get a job. He's in charge of making the decision somewhat. And yeah, let's get into the footage.
Happy Friday! Trying to get it of the baby. Of the baby! Happy Friday, guys. I am halfway through Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I was about 100 pages into this and I was like, oh, here we go. Like, this is not going to be good. And then it got good. And then it got good. And then the MMC said I'm stepping up to the plate. So I just love Enemies to Lovers. And I think it could be like the most garbage book ever and I'll still love it. Like, that's how much I love Enemies to Lovers. So look, Ali Hazelwood always writes the best. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm hoping to finish this tonight, but I'm excited. I am enjoying this. I just think that Ali Hazelwood is like so funny, so strange with her writing, but in such a good way. I don't know. Let's see where we go. Good morning, everybody. Did I finish this last night? Absolutely not. But I'm about 3/4 through, right? Like, I've only got, what is it? About 100 and something pages left. So hopefully going to try and finish this today. It's been a good morning, you guys. I'm so grateful for X. I have been fed this morning with my Bridgerton spoilers. Anyways, gonna try and finish this and then I think I'm gonna go do some shopping, but let's see how we go. Okay, we are definitely losing daylight. Thought I would quickly talk to you guys about Love Theoretically. So I just finished this now. This took me a little bit longer to get through than I would have liked. I've just been a little bit busy over the last couple of days. I think this book started out really strong, like very much classic Ali Hazelwood, really funny, really quick, really witty, you know, lovable characters, cheesy sort of plot line. It was really good. There were moments in this where I was screaming. Like, the spice in this is really good. Like, I still think Bride is her best book, but I really liked it. I think towards the end it was a little bit rushed and kind of messy, I want to say. Like, I feel like the ending didn't match how hard the beginning hit, if that makes sense. Like, I sort of thought we were like building to this big thing and the ending just didn't really give me what I wanted. I am gonna give this book 3.75 stars. I think it just missed the 4-star mark for me because of how the ending sort of wrapped up.
And then for spice, I'm gonna give it a 2 spice because the spice was banging and I really liked it. Okay, you guys, that's all of the reading vlog footage. However, I thought I'd just give a quick wrap up of like my favorites and like the ones I didn't really enjoy. I'd say my least favorite from the week was Love and Other Words. It just really disappointed me because it has a trope at the end that I really despise, and it completely ruined the book for me. I think also, like I said in some of my reaction footage, I think that this is a book that I would have liked when I first started reading because I wouldn't have found it so predictable, if that makes sense. But because I've now read quite a few books that are similar, I think I found it quite predictable. After that, I'll say beach read. Again, enjoyable experience. I just wish this one hadn't been spoiled for me so much because I think it would have been so much more impactful. Love Theoretically in second place. Again, loved this. Just sort of things were resolved halfway through. I was like, oh, but I still really enjoyed it. And then Love Redesigned was a 5-star and it was just phenomenal. I really loved this book. I can see why so many people adore it. And I'm kicking myself that I didn't read it earlier because I truly just, for the size of this, I read this in a day. And some of these took me like a week and they're half the size. So that just shows. Lauren Asher, like your writing, your mind is just chef's kiss. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you like the reading vlogs. I think I really enjoy doing them. I just forget sometimes when I'm reading and they do take quite a bit of time to film. Like obviously it took me like a week or 2 to get all the footage together, but I think they're really enjoyable. I like watching them as well. So let me know if you'd like to see more or which books you'd like to see me do next. But as always, if you guys don't already, feel free to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll put the tags here. And if you have any ideas for any other future videos you might like to see, throw them in the comments. But anyway, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a lovely day or a lovely night, and I will see you all next time. Bye!